News Nation will. A must-see primetime event, Crisis on the Border, a special edition of Dan Abrams Live, Thursday night at 9/8 Central, only on News Nation.
This is the KTLA 5 News at 4. I'm Samantha Cortese.
And I'm Lauren Lister. We're following breaking news out of Santa Monica, where traffic is moving again on the 10 freeway after an accident. Gil Labus in Sky 5 with the details. Hi, Gil.
Hi, Sam and Lauren. The CHP just opened both sides of the McClure Tunnel about 20 minutes ago after a two-car accident that shut it down since about 2 o'clock. As I come out to a wide shot, you see both directions are open right now. The 10 freeway was completely shut down at Lincoln, but the impact here on PCH still remains. Let me tilt up and show you. The backup extends all the way to Will Rogers State Beach. You can see the backup here as I zoom all the way in to the traffic coming at us. That's the southbound lanes of traffic. But the good news, those lanes have been open here into the McClure Tunnel, and so that should be a relief for the drivers coming southbound on the PCH. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Gil, good news. Slowly moving. Thank you. Now at 4, it's happened again. More violence on the metro. This time, deadly mayhem. A man shot after stabbing a security guard. The deadly confrontation happened at a metro station this morning in East Hollywood.
The attack is the latest in an alarming surge of violence on metro buses and trains. KTLA's Sandra Mitchell joins us live from Hollywood with more details. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Lauren. Sam, yeah, the body of that suspect still here on the scene in East Hollywood, as are LAPD and Metro officers. I can tell you that the security guard who was stabbed in the leg, apparently in stable condition. Sounds like he's going to be okay. But now we are learning that the suspect who was killed apparently was acting out on the train just before this deadly confrontation. Going underground to get evidence. LAPD on the scene where the body of a suspect who slashed a Metro security guard was found moments after being shot in the confrontation. Minutes before that deadly encounter, the suspect was on a train arriving at the Vermont Sunset Boulevard station, yanking on the train's emergency brake.
When the doors opened, that suspect exited the train and the security guards followed him.
Investigators say there was an altercation and the guards first used pepper spray on the trespasser.
The suspect pulled out a knife and was able to stab one of the security guards in the lower body. At that time, there was also a shooting. We're not sure at this point if one or both of those security guards fired at the suspect.
The contracted Allied Universal Guard was not seriously injured, but the suspect, bleeding, made it through an underground metro tunnel and emerged here about a block away. From Sky 5, we can see a white tent set up where the body was found.
He was able to exit the hatch, but he collapsed on the sidewalk, which you can see behind us.
Metro issued a statement today saying a contract security guard fired a weapon in self-defense. The LAPD now is leading the investigation.
It's dangerous. Yeah, I don't really like it.
But after several deadly encounters involving Metro passengers, many riders say they do not feel safe.
You just never know. You never know who you're standing next to, who you're sitting next to. Like, it's sad. It's very sad.
All right, back live here in East Hollywood. You could see the scene still going on. We see investigators coming in and out of that underground area, still waiting for the coroner to show up. LAPD telling us there were cameras inside the train and inside the metro station. There is video, but because the suspect was killed, we do not anticipate they're going to release that video. We're live in East Hollywood. I'm Sandra Mitchell, KTLA 5 News. Lauren, Sam, back to you.
Sandra, thank you. Classes at UCLA are being held online for the rest of the week after dozens of protesters were arrested Monday. Police say the protesters were released after they were processed. This follows a week of chaotic protests on campus. The university says it's working with the LAPD and FBI to investigate the violence that took place last week, which could lead to more arrests. Chancellor Gene Block sent a message to the UCLA community saying he hopes the perpetrators are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. blaming a group of instigators he says came to Roy's Quad and attacked students, faculty, and staff advocating for Palestinian rights. The chancellor has refused all KTLA interview requests to discuss new security procedures in the wake of the protests.
The White House is cautiously optimistic as Israel and Hamas work toward a hostage release agreement and possible extended truce in the 7-month war in Gaza. Israeli troops have seized the Palestinian side of the Rafah border crossing, a vital entryway for humanitarian aid. With fuel supplies low, it's feared food deliveries could soon stop. Israel says it told more than 100,000 people living in eastern Rafah to evacuate ahead of airstrikes that reportedly killed 27 people. Hamas has agreed to a ceasefire deal mediated by Egypt and Qatar. But Israel said the proposal did not meet its core demands, but it has agreed to engage in more talks.
Meantime, President Biden condemned what he called a, quote, ferocious surge of anti-Semitism in the United States. During a speech at a Holocaust remembrance ceremony, the president said Americans should not forget the October 7th Hamas attack on Israeli soil, the deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust. The president also referred to the violence on college campuses in recent weeks.
There is no place on any campus in America, any place in America, for anti-Semitism or hate speech or threats of violence of any kind. And my commitment to the safety of the Jewish people, the security of Israel, and its right to exist as an independent Jewish state is ironclad, even when we disagree.
The Biden administration announced new efforts to address threats on campuses, including educating communities about the funding available to them.
A critical day in the Donald Trump alleged hush money trial. Adult film actress Stormy Daniels testified for nearly 4 hours today in that former president's trial. At issue was Daniels paid $130,000 to keep quiet about a 2006 sexual encounter with the former president, an encounter he denies. Daniels described the encounter in detail in the Trump penthouse suite, saying he called her Honey Bunch. She told the court she thought she blacked out and that Trump didn't use protection. The former president's defense team moved for a mistrial, calling the testimony inappropriate and prejudicial. The judge denied that motion. The former president pleaded not guilty to the charges. Daniels is expected to return to the stand tomorrow to answer more questions from Trump's attorneys.
Growing concern and outrage in San Bernardino County over the recent decision to transfer death row inmates to the California Institution for Men in Chino.
Local leaders are worried the Chino facility is not able to house such high-risk inmates. KTLA's Shelby Nelson joins us live outside the California Institution for Men in Chino with the latest. Hi, Shelby.
Hi, Sam and Lauren. Yeah, officials gave many examples of why this can't happen, and one of them dating back to 2018, when a CIM inmate was able to escape under the supervision of at least 2 guards in the vicinity where he was. Now, the Chino mayor saying that these inmates need to go, or the state needs to make the proper repairs to be able to house these dangerous criminals adequately.
One inmate killed a victim with an axe during a home invasion robbery. Another one beat and tortured a woman to death. Another inmate murdered 2 teenagers working at a Subway sandwich shop.
They are the worst of the worst, criminals on death row, and many are now housed right here at the California Institution for Men in Chino after being transferred from San Quentin Rehabilitation Center.
The safety of my community is of paramount concern. I'm outraged that these death row prisoners, 39 so far, have been transferred from San Quentin Prison to the California Institution for Men. This is a prison that is in dire need of repair to keep these dangerous prisons housed.
City and county leaders, along with law enforcement, speaking to the dangers of what this presents to CIM's surrounding community, homes, businesses, and schools. Already, as of May 1st, an audit found that the prison housed more than 2,200 inmates. It's only designed to house 1,604, meaning capacity is bursting at the seams at 138%.
The nightmare of what my child had to go through in his last moments will be with me forever.
In 1983, Mary Ann Hughes' life changed after her 11-year-old son was one of 4 people who were brutally murdered in Chino Hills by Kevin Cooper after he escaped CIM. Her son had been at a friend's house. The California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation says that it is phasing out its death row unit at San Quentin and that transfers are placed in institutions with an electrified secured perimeter. They say the move is part of the